Hi, this is Gig Patta with Latino Review. I'm actually reviewing the new horror movie called Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. This is technically an offshoot of the Paranormal Activity franchise. There's the first four movies, Paranormal Activity 1 through 4, and this is supposed to be sort of like a side story with much more of a Latino bent to it with this. Now, the very first thing I want to admit is that I have never seen the first four Paranormal Activities, so I was actually interested in this movie because, from my understanding, I don't have to see the other four in order to understand this one. Okay, but I'll explain a little bit more towards the end of this review on whether that's necessarily true or not. Anyways, so the movie basically is about a few Hispanic teenagers that just graduated from high school, named Jesse and Hector, and this girl, not really, really important, named Marisol. But it's mainly revolves around this guy named Jesse who lives in this apartment complex, this eightplex, where a neighbor downstairs happens to be a witch, and she gets murdered, and one of their old friends named Oscar disappears, and so on, and then weird things starts to happen to him, and basically, I guess slowly and surely, there was some kind of demon possession that he gets like these powers, like telekinesis powers, and he could actually fall backwards and doesn't hit the ground, and he thinks it's really cool. So at first I was going, okay, well, this is interesting. It's like some kid videotaping himself with superpowers with his friend Hector holding on to the videotape the whole time. And then everything just starts to get weird, where his personality changes and so on. Without revealing the entire ending for you, to be honest with you, all the setup for two-thirds of the movie was actually a bore. I started to nod off several times throughout the entire movie, except for maybe the last 15 to 20 minutes when it basically hit its climax, and it tries to tie all the paranormal activities together with that, which that was probably the only interesting part. Now, as for the scares, the problem with the scares is that even though this is my first time watching a paranormal activity movie, I didn't find it that scary or startling. A lot of the scares is basically like someone approaching a door and then somebody's behind the door, or you're approaching a shower curtain and then somebody's behind the shower curtain, or it's behind you. It's one of those type of movies where all the scares you could see it a mile away, so it's not quite as scary per se. Now, for the Hispanic part, the studio is trying to cater towards more of the Latinos, and the Latinos and Hispanics particularly will probably enjoy it. But however, there are a few Mexican stereotypes in the film, as the way how they act in like South Central Los Angeles with gangs and so on. But it's not too relevant, like in your face, to be offensive, whatnot. So, anyways, overall, the film was actually okay. It wasn't particularly great from a person who saw Paranormal Activity for the first time. Sure, there might be one scene that will force you to jump out of the seat, but everything was fairly predictable. But just like any type of found footage type of film, I it just leaves a bunch of questions that is just simply unanswered, like who did the editing of the found footage, if they actually did find the tape or the camera, and secondly, if this actually happened in an apartment complex where there are six other neighbors and cops everywhere. How come none of the neighbors or cops ever come out and investigate these type of paranormal activities? Well, anyways, overall, I give this movie a C. If you're a paranormal activity fan, you probably enjoy it a lot better than us who are not the big fans of it. Well, thank you very much for checking out this review, and I'll review the next movie later. Peace.